Thanks for joining us on Bobbye and Tonilee Unplugged, where the message is always truthful, authentic, and inspiring. For more information on Bobbye and Tonilee Unplugged, visit bobbyeandtonilee.com. Now your hosts, Bobbye and Tonilee.
Hello, welcome to Bobbye and Tonilee Unplugged. My name is Bobbye Brooks.
And I'm Tonilee Adamson.
Thanks for joining us here at K-Praise 12:10 a.m. We're on every day at 10, and if you're brand new to the show, also visit us online at dailydisciples.org. Check out daily devotions. Also, you can listen to all the past radio programs and watch the videos at youtube.com, which the easiest way to get there is going to the Bobbye and Tonilee Unplugged banner and just clicking through. Because one of the great things about being on radio is Tonilee and I get to have incredible guests on our show. And if you watch it, you get to watch these incredible guests. And today in our studio, we have a gentleman who, if you were at our recent Power of Hope conference, you couldn't miss him, first of all. He was our #1 greeter. And by the way, you notice I keep hearing say he. You keep hearing me say he. His name is Eider Mello, and he was our #1 volunteer. Eider, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
We're so glad you're here.
I joke about it because here every year we get, 30, 40 women to come out and help us. And one of the greatest things I saw on Facebook, honestly, was this picture of you, and it had your name. Volunteer had your name printed out even. Eider, and you were just awesome. Thank you so much for just being there.
Honored to be there. It was an amazing blessing for me to be part of that event.
Yeah,
it
was so cool. Now, but today we're here because Eider has a business in San Diego. We're going to have him tell us about his business, but we thought it was also, as Eider's working with Media for Women, he's got a brand new website coming out. He's got a whole bunch of cool stuff getting ready to happen, but he is certainly not new to landscaping. And Eider, I wanted you to talk a little bit about your background and what you have done here in San Diego.
Oh, wow. Where do I start? 30 plus years ago of a lot of landscaping all over, mostly residential. Learned how to do artificial rock work. I love waterfalls. I love teaching people how to make waterfalls. That's one of the goals, is to help the homeowner do his own project with my help. Or I can come and do it for you. I got to work at the San Diego Zoo. I helped build the gorilla exhibit.
That's so cool.
That's amazing,
I love that.
right? And then the Scripps Aviary, where rain comes down at night. Or not night, just it comes down.
Wow.
You're walking through. So those are really cool pieces. And then it used to be called Quill Botanical Gardens near you up here.
Oh, yeah.
And it's now called Encinitas Botanic, I
Yes.
think.
Yeah.
I did a couple of ponds there, and they don't have signs or anything, but it's about people coming and enjoying the space.
Mm-hmm.
And now my goal really with my business is to help create a space in your home where you can go and have some quiet time, be with God and listen.
Right.
Like
we're
that peaceful
yes,
place.
Exactly.
That's wonderful.
Anyway, there's all kinds of words that people like to use for that, but it's home. And it can even be a place where you can have friends over. Those are kind of places where you want to encourage some stillness, right? Be still and know that I am
Right,
God.
that's right.
It's like we're all so busy and running around, and it's like we need that.
Right.
Whether it's in the morning, middle of the day, however you can put it in, that's the important thing, is to have that time with God.
So is it difficult to put in a fountain or this beautiful water rock garden? How difficult is it? Is it somebody who says, I've got a lot of space and I need you to landscape this whole thing? Or can you really just say, I've got this little area that I just want to find peace?
It's that easy. It's
All
a little
right.
thing. I've done projects in a day. Okay, and I can even,
Wow.
I can take you to Home Depot or Lowe's, not to pump you guys, but those are places that are easy. They're convenient for us. So I've created a way to make it very convenient for a homeowner to create that little space with some plants, maybe move a little bit of soil around, maybe bring in some antique bicycles, some things that are personal and history, things that are important to you, not just what I know, but, to create your environment. I like to sit with you and get to know you and what you like, because these are things that are important to you, not just me and waterfalls
Right.
and plants. It's making it personal. It's something that will impact you and your family and friends in a special way.
And what about all the drought issues? So do you specialize in some areas that...
Well, you've
like-
had to, right?
Well,
You've had to change
yes.
some of the
Right.
things. That you
Yes.
can't just
I'm
water
surprised
everything.
how I'm attracted now to cactus.
I know. Here we are in Southern California, which is a desert. And people
Exactly,
forget.
yeah,
It's
right.
like we live in a desert. Well, it's palm trees everywhere, green grass.
ocean,
And it's like,
yeah.
sorry, you can't water your lawn this week. And it's
Right.
just like shriveling up. So that's one of the goals, is to take out, if you need all of it, we'll take it all out, or I'll help you take it out. And then create a way that it's a beautiful, there's hundreds and hundreds of plants that are beautiful to look at that are indigenous. They're not, and they don't need water. Once they're
Right.
in, you just they do their own thing. So that's exciting to think, I can turn off my water. The water bill goes down to next to nothing. And then all of a sudden you've got something beautiful to
Exactly.
look at. Yeah.
Let me just say, if you're just tuning in to Bobbye Tonilee Unplugged here at K-Praise, our guest today on the show is Eider Mello. And what we're talking about, Eider, first of all, is truly one of the neatest guys I've had the privilege of meeting. Tonilee and I have really been able to spend time with. He's passionate, he's outgoing, he's kind and generous. He loves the Lord, and that's really important. I mean, I know if you're listening right now and you're looking for someone to come into your home or your backyard, you want to be able to trust them. And you also want that person there who's going to be praying for you, going to be praying for what you want. I mean, we need that. And Eider is this kind of guy that's going to be, wow, you ask him to come in to do a landscape project, and he's going to want to get to know you and talk to you about what's God putting on your heart. And he's going to help create that space of peace. And so if you want to get in touch with Eider, you can actually, his name is Eider Mello. There's a brand new website coming out called DeMelloDesign.com. We'll be telling you all about that. And we're going to have his link right on dailydisciples.org. But for the show today, call us and we will set you up with a consult with Eider. Just call 800-992-0369. That's our number, 800-992-0369. So call right now during the show, and we'll get you a consult with Eider in person, because he's a very busy guy. But because we know him, we can get you in, right?
Yes,
That's
absolutely.
right.
Immediately.
Immediately.
If not sooner.
So you've done the zoo, you've done all these other big projects, and yet you'll come in, you work with the drought issues, you work with any size backyard, you work with the front yards. I mean, you pretty much will do what people need.
Absolutely.
So how does the process work? They call you, do you come out before you give them a quote? Do you kind of just walk through the project and then say, here's kind of how it prices out? What's your recommendation?
Yeah, we always meet first, because
Okay.
I want to know who you are and what you need and your ideas, because it isn't all about me. I have a lot of experience, but this is a personal adventure
love
that
that.
we go on. We have to go, we do this together. You know,
love
as we
that.
walk through life, we walk with each other for some time and then maybe not. But then we're always expanding on the idea that we can make something special of our life, not just our space. So more about it is, how do we interact as people? You know, to me, it's very important that I listen to you and what your ideas and
I love
concepts
that.
of stuff are.
Yeah.
So that makes it unique. I leave and it's all done, but now you're going to remember this place for years. And even I've been doing this 30 plus years. Some clients tell me they've had so many incredible parties for their kids in these backyards that I've done. I've never seen them, but I know that people, they say, no, can we have our party at your house?
Oh, that's
because
great.
they love the environment, and I make pools for kids to play in. They're safe. You know,
Wow.
there's a lot of stuff that you can do to make it personal. So that's the process. Is we talk on the phone a little bit, and then we begin to understand what your goals are, and then I can begin to encourage you with what I want to do for you also.
And do you help them with the budget? Let's say if someone's listening right now and they go, boy, I'd love to have, and I just want to tell you, if you're listening right now or watching, there's nothing more soothing or nicer than going to your backyard or a place on your side yard or a place in your front yard that has just been set up for you.
That's so true.
And plants and flowers and rocks and all those things. This is not my gift. God did not give me the spiritual gift of design, okay? But for people who have it, it's life-changing.
Yeah.
You need that little space. So if you're listening right now, this is a guy to call, Eider de Mello. Just give us a call, 800-992-0369, and he's going to come out and talk to you. He'll probably pray with you before you get started, if I know him. He'll sit down and say, hey, can we pray about this? And then budgets, do you just kind of sit down and help the person with their budget and figure out what they can do?
Absolutely. That's crucial, because the way we talked earlier, this is all God's money. The way I look at it is, it's not mine. I get to work with your budget. It's an honor to say, all right, I don't have much. All right, let's just figure out what that is. And we can put a little bit here. I've always told people this. The word scale is really interesting, because if you go to the zoo, everything's giant.
Right.
Waterfalls.
So true.
And I got to be in the middle of it and see, I have no idea how many millions they may have spent on that. But we shrink the same idea down to your yard and the space that you have and your budget. So now we fit the same vision into what is good for you. So that's like the perfect combination. So I love to draw. I love to sit there and show you what it is that we're going to do right in front of your eyes. It's a beautiful little moment like that.
I love it, because the trend right now is everything's going smaller. Furniture's going smaller. We want to downsize from all the stimuli. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so this is perfect, because not only can you deal in a small space, but then you want to maximize the peace in the process, which is so perfect, because usually you think of a small space, you think of clutter, all the piles of things that we have around. But instead you're saying, no, we want to make this a peaceful place too. And that's wonderful.
What if somebody comes to you with drawings or pictures? If they say, hey, this is from Better Homes and Gardens, this is the backyard
Pinterest.
I want.
It's
Or
Pinterest.
yeah.
I've got great things.
Here's the
on Pinterest.
picture, Eider. Make me this.
You know what? I encourage that before we even meet. I
Right.
tell my clients, you guys do your homework. You have to, because you know what? Just saying something is important. What do they say? A picture's worth 1,000 words. I think it's worth 1,000,000 words.
That's
Because
right.
you know what? Look at this. Look what I found. Now I have I'm very visual, and I get excited because now you are telling me with just this here, even if it's one picture, it's huge. Make a file, make a digital file, make these things that now you're collecting, you're being inspired to create your own sanctuary.
Right.
It's like, whoa.
And then you get to make it come to life for them.
I know. I'm getting goosebumps just
I
thinking
know.
about that. 'Cause
I have never met somebody so excited over landscape. I mean, honestly, this is
rocks.
a calling. Or rocks. And
Rocks.
plants.
That's so cool.
I know. I wish I had that, but I don't. So again, if you're just tuning in to Bobbye and Tonilee Unplugged here at K-Praise 1210 a.m., our special guest today, Eider de Mello, he's also a friend to the ministry at Daily Disciples, because this is a person whose heart really is to serve the Lord. He has a lot of passion, enthusiasm, excitement for what God's doing in his life and how he wants to work in your life. And he's a person that I see God using him in many ways. But right now, if you're listening, and maybe you just need a space, it's a place in your home, in your backyard, somewhere that you have. This is a person that can come in and help you create something that God gets to breathe on you, that God gets to use as a place of peace and comfort for your life. And so we want you to call. We'll get you in touch with him. We're working on it through Media for Women. We met Eider, who came in one day, and we're like, wow, this guy's amazing. We've got to hire him. He's just amazing. He's just a person that brings life. And as we're building a brand new website, you're going to be hearing a lot about him through all of our connections. But we want to introduce you to him now, so you can call and get him on your schedule, because he's going to be a very busy guy. So today, if you call 800-992-0369, 800-992-0369, we will get you connected with Eider to get a consultation set up immediately. And you know, Eider, what do you think about the winter time? It's it's February and the time's changing. San Diego doesn't really have
Well,
winter.
it's like our winter's spring everywhere else. You know what I mean?
By
It
next
rains,
month, the
it's
flowers
dirty,
are going to be
it's-
coming
Yes,
out. I
yes.
mean,
Right.
Spring is almost here. It's
yeah.
like 20 days
So
away
it
or
really
something,
doesn't
yeah.
matter any time of the year. You
No,
can come
it
and talk
doesn't.
about
and
anything.
That's the reality of where we live. We're kind of
Yeah.
spoiled. And now my daughter went to Maryland. I was like, oh man.
Yeah.
You know, you think about and my brother in Massachusetts. I was like, you guys, this is it. We are spoiled. But
Right.
we still have to consider our environment. And there's some amazing things that are happening. Eventually, I'll connect you guys with all the other stuff that I'm connecting with. Like, I love to be connected to the community and what's happening.
That's
Those are
right.
important things.
That's
Not
exactly
just your
right.
home,
That's right.
but the other things that are part of our environment.
right.
It's
And
just-
you want to teach too. You're going to actually do
I
a
will be
lot of
teaching.
online
Yes,
seminars
yes.
and about how to do this yourself.
Absolutely.
And those classes are very popular at Hope Depot. But how nice that you get to
We're going
do
to
it
have him
for
on the
us.
academy doing some stuff
Yes.
as well. But I also want to talk about on the show, there's a person in your life named Charles Faust, Faust, correct? And there are these designs that were at our conference that are just gorgeous. Can you talk a little bit about what those are?
I'm going to start crying.
I know, you're going to start crying. but-
Charlie Faust was my father-in-law. He died in 2000. Incredible man. He designed the Wild Animal Park in San Diego. Nobody
He
hears about it.
designed
He
the
designed
Wild
the
Animal-
layout of all the villages, and there's some incredible drawings. Eventually, you will be seeing some of this history. I love history, and I love San Diego history. And there's a huge one at the San Diego airport, giant. It's got to be 20 plus feet high.
Wow.
And they're everywhere. And we're going to be having another thing called Finding Faust. He's all over San Diego.
Yeah, I've
wow.
seen his name.
And
I
yeah,
have,
and there's
yeah.
bits and pieces, big pieces, little pieces,
Yeah.
and then my son Ethan and I are bringing back his bas-relief panels that he worked over probably 30 years of his life, and we had them at the conference.
Yes,
and
they were
The
beautiful.
girls loved them. I mean, the girls were just, wow,
Oh, wow.
this is amazing. And so for me, it's a personal thing because I'm dealing with a very creative, intense man, and I feel like so connected to him, even though he's no longer here. And for my son, to bring that legacy back of what it is that he saw as a young man, now to revive that. It's going to be really incredible. We're going to be teaching bas-relief classes also. So the process is something that you can do. I'm going to have classes
Really?
coming out my ears.
Is this involving sand?
It is sand, yes.
Okay.
And so like when you go to the beach and you step in the sand, you leave your footprint.
Right.
Right.
You can go back and you can pour a little plaster in that footprint. It sets up and you rinse it off and there's your foot. So
Oh,
that's
that's
the basic concept of it. Charlie Faust took it to a high art form with unbelievable things that were, all these, I don't have to tell you, my
crazy,
mind is
huh?
like sparks of synaptic connections are going off because all these things that I want to make happen are happening right now. It's amazing.
The look of it. Usually, when I think of sand, you think of imprints, but these are embossed.
It's the,
So it's
Yeah,
the
it's the
opposite.
opposite.
Like how did that?
Yeah.
How do you do that? How does that work?
Let's say if you took your hand and
Right,
you,
it
and
goes-
you push
it's an
it, you
imprint.
create, this is a positive.
Right.
So we create a negative by pushing it in the sand.
Yeah.
And then we pour the plaster.
Yeah.
And it dries. Now
Oh,
you're back
interesting.
to the positive again.
Yes.
So you're going through
And
this
then you
little
turn it,
steps, and
right,
it's really
okay.
not complicated. And it's an old art form, but Charlie
No
really
one's
refined
doing
it.
it though, are they? Is anyone really
Very
doing it?
few. That's why I'm excited about it. We've met with SCORE, so, the retired executives, and they're saying, Eider, you got to make this happen.
Yeah.
This is a beautiful thing that's a part of San Diego history. People recognize it
Right,
here,
right.
and then they're all over the country. They're
Right.
on East Coast, West Coast. So it's going to be exciting. You'll be seeing that as a whole nother channel called Finding Faust. That's gonna be
Finding Faust.
Instead of
Right.
Where's Waldo?
Yes.
Yeah.
Find Faust.
Yeah, they're all over. So we're going to have people coming out of the woodwork, which they are already, talking. I have one of those panels that was at the Great American Bank that got pulled down.
Oh,
They
that's
have it in his
great.
garage. I said, we're going to take a video of it. We're going to talk to you about it, and then either bring it out, put it in a school. I mean, there's a lot of ways to do things
cool.
like
Yeah.
that.
Okay, well, as you can tell, Eider is, and his name is spelled E-I-D-E-R. What's the background of
You're
that?
gonna love this.
E-I-D-E-R.
Okay, it's a German name. There's actually a river in Germany called the Eider. See, Eider in German, Eider in
America.
Portuguese.
Oh,
in Portuguese.
interesting.
Okay.
Because I'm Brazilian, believe it or not. I'm from Rio de Janeiro. I should start dancing soon. But my mom is German Dutch in Brazil, and she speaks Portuguese with a German accent. How weird is
funny.
that?
Gosh,
right?
that's
You girls are, I'm going
hilarious.
to have her on my
That's
show. You guys are
hilarious.
going to love her. And then my dad is Portuguese, Italian, Spanish from Rio. Dark, tall, skinny guy. He speaks with a completely different accent. It's like having a dad from Texas and a mom from New York.
Right,
But in
right.
Brazil. And so here's all, you guys are going to hear a funny story about the E names. And there's this giant chunk of them.
That's
and so these
awesome.
so I got a weird German name because I was born in Brazil.
And
My mom-
Mello is what? D-E, and then it's capital M-E-L-O.
Is that Italian?
Well, it can be.
Yeah.
It's Portuguese, it's Italian, it's Spanish, it's even French.
Wow.
You know, it's European. Listen, most of us have European blood in
That's
us.
true.
However we got to here,
Right.
most of us have that.
That's
and so
right.
we're all kind of mutts.
We're all mutts.
Right?
No doubt
I'm
about
not,
it. Yeah.
I'm not that pure
No
now,
doubt
all that
about
stuff. So we're
Yeah.
talking about this earlier. It's like, I'm a Brazilian. Oh, you look like a Brazilian. I go, what's a Brazilian look like? Wait, what's an American look like?
That's right.
I don't
That's
know.
so
I mean,
true.
I can't pick where you're from.
No, that's
so it's
so
kind of
true.
fun to realize that we've all come from an incredible history to bring us to this moment.
Right.
And now we get to do something for the next generations ahead.
Right. Well, we want to thank Eider for being sharing just a snippet today of what he does. Again, just to recap, Eider DeMello owns DeMello Designs. Bobbye Tonilee from Daily Disciples, he's going to be a part of doing a lot of things with us. You're going to hear a lot about Eider in the future. He's going to be on upcoming radio programs. But more than that, through Media for Women, we're launching Eider's new website, videos. He's amazing on social media. This guy, look him up on Facebook.
And he's coming to our marketing conference.
March,
yeah.
yes,
In
as a
March
matter of
19th,
fact, that's
yeah.
right. March
can meet him there.
19th, you've been hearing about, we're going to say it just right, okay? So it's maximize, monetize, and multiply through multimedia.
multimedia.
You're seeing that all over the place. That's March 19th at San Diego Marriott in La Jolla. Eider is going to be with us there, and a lot of entrepreneurs. So, but he's a 30-plus year business owner in San Diego, and he's got so much to share. We're going to be putting this out for you, but today you need to call him to help you with your landscaping or just creating, whether it's a backyard, front yard, side yard, place.
Like Moses, pitching your tent,
Pitch your tent somewhere.
outside so that you can spend time with the Lord.
He will help you with the budget, with the design, anything you need. And if you've already got those pictures off Pinterest that you want to show him, he will sit down,
Ready to go.
free consultation, come out, talk to you, tell you what you need, tell you the whole deal, and work with you on it. And he's a true man of God. So you've got a Christian working with you to create that space to be with the Lord. And I think that just says it all. Eider, thank you so much for being
Thank you
with
for
us
having
today.
me. Thank you.
Okay, well, that's all for today with Bobbye Tonilee Unplugged right here at K-Praise 12:10 a.m. We will be back same time tomorrow. Again, don't forget to visit us online at dailydisciples.org and not only listen to the past radio programs, but watch. You can see Mr. DeMello live and in living color by going to Bobbye Tonilee Unplugged and watching the YouTube channel. Until then, God bless, have a great day, and we will see you soon.
Thanks for tuning into Bobbye and Tonilee Unplugged. Tune in every day on air and online. For more real life, real answers from Bobbye and Tonilee. Subscribe to the Bobbye and Tonilee channel, and for more information, visit bobbyeandtonilee.com.